Hello, 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 everybody. We're back with Well Said with Kim and Vic. I'm Kim.
I'm Vic.
And thank you for joining us today. And yeah, excuse me, my allergies are acting up. Every time my allergies act up, my nose tickle. So it's that time of year.
No, she's really digging in her nose. She's just trying to play it off.
It's really weird though, Vic, because I've always had allergies my whole life. So when I was younger, it was hay fever and I would sneeze a lot. But it seems like as I've gotten older, it feels like somebody taking a feather and tickling it.
The only thing you do, just look and let it drain out.
That
Nano pot.
What is it called? The nanny pot?
Yeah.
It's something else called Farage or...
I don't know about that, but I use the nettle pot, and I usually...
That helps?
I'm
going to have to get one.
I mean, during the allergy season...
Yeah, because if it goes in, it comes out, and it cleans it out.
Yeah, and it's really good.
Where I can get one from?
Just Walgreens, Walmart, Walmart.
Norvage, I've heard of that. That one's it's like motorized, and it costs. I looked it up. It's like $99.
But that one goes all the way up into your nasal passages, and it cleans.
The nanny pot. If it's economically, we may have to do the nanny pot.
Yeah, talking about nanny pot, under $20.
Yeah,
pretty good. Yeah, standard.
So enough about my allergies, but
listen, I'm on that job site, so I have to have that dirt every day. With construction, you got to clean out your nose every day. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a note of that, and I'm gonna get the nanny pot.
Get one. Yeah.
But we're back today to talk about an interesting time, just in general, because like I said, we're getting back used to talking to you guys and just expressing some of our opinions and having commentary and stuff. So
and concerns. It's just not our opinion. It's our concerns.
Yeah.
We want that to be clear. We are very concerned in this climate that we're having here, moving here into 2024 elections here in NC, and also on the national level going forward. We have to think about it. What does this look like going forward? And are we putting right people in place that's going to fight for us? Not for themselves, but fight for us as American citizens. Okay, and stand firm. Don't be afraid of not being invited back for tea and crumpets, but actually saying, I don't frankly care. I'm here for the American people. That's
a good one.
I'm
Ain't that an English thing though? Like tea and crumpets.
I'm ride or die conservatism, and I'm just like saying, I don't really care if you don't invite me back. You're not my friends anyway. I have my small group of friends. And my thing is like this: what are you actually doing for the American people? You know what I'm saying? Financially, educationally wise, these are the things that we got to start thinking about and stop voting populism. Are you popular? Do I like you? Do you have a nice comb over? Do you have, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's what populism means. So, but we're gonna get in.
Listen,
but I got you. Don't vote for who's popular just because they're popular, right?
Who's likable. Let me use let's cut out populism. Likable. I like him because he talks nice.
What about electable? Don't you get tired of that term being used?
I get tired of that too.
That's important?
But electable meaning, can they resonate? What I look at it as electable, can they resonate with the community? Do they resonate with the the citizens?
Right? Can they relate to the citizenry? Right? No, that ain't always what electable mean on our side. I'm telling you.
My thing is like, are you electable? Are you getting out and kissing the babies? I don't remember if you guys know Ed Koch. I'm from New York.
Yeah.
How am I doing? I like that. I like that mantra. How am I doing? And he got out and he kissed the babies.
I do remember him.
He schmoozed the community.
I think that's the last mayor of New York that I probably really like.
Yeah, and the thing about it, I love
Giuliani, of course.
Kind of like Donald Trump is doing right now, getting out, going to the bodegas there in Harlem and stuff like that. Politicians don't do that stuff no more.
They're gonna mess around if Trump gonna win New York.
They think they're too good for that. They think they're too good to go into the hood. To solidify votes. They just think that they're going to do it behind four walls. That ain't going to happen. I'm sorry. People are tired of that type of politics.
Well, and speaking of which, that's one of the things we kind of wanted to talk about inside the Republican Party, like the different factions and how we see. I think there's an evolution, especially with Donald Trump, and he's leading. He's leading by example.
Yeah.
But we have different factions within the party that we recognize that can cause some internal strife.
Yeah.
So the three factions that we kind of identify is the establishment, or what we love to call the rhinos, Republican in name only. We have the evangelicals, who are the religious side of the party, the Christians, who are very devout. And then we also have the MAGA wing, the Make America Great wing, or the America First wing.
Grassroots. Can you MAGA ring grassroots?
With MAGA?
Yeah, it's a lot of grassroots stuff with MAGA.
And we're starting to, and in my opinion, I think MAGA is really starting to take hold, that more Republicans are the Make America Great, America First Republicans, even though we still have those wings, those different factions within the party. And I really think that it's coming to a point where there's going to be a lot of big change. It's already on the way. So you got to think about it. The RNC is headed now by MAGA Republicans, Laura Trump and our guy Mike Watley, North Carolina in the House. Yes, yes, yes. Our head of the RNC now, and I've seen changes already with the way that they're doing things. The rhinos, what do you think about the rhinos? The establishment. So when we talk about rhinos and naming, the rhinos really are part of what we call the uniparty. So there's no difference between them and Democrats, especially in D.C. or in the upper echelons of government.
But I think rhinos could be on the local level too. We look at it as just national, but you can have rhinos on the national level, okay, and the local level, causing chaos, within the party. So okay.
So do you think that at the local level too, are they as much a problem? Which I agree with you now that I think about it. We do see them.
Yeah, they're a problem because they affect us every day.
Sometimes the local ones are even worse
than the national ones because you're living it every day, or through the municipalities, local government commissioners. This is why it's so important that people get involved locally. It's not just the national is the country,
right?
Locally is how you paying your taxes,
right? The different municipalities, right? The cities.
These are the things that you're doing every day.
Would you consider statewide too a little more? Well, of course, you got the national, state, and then municipal.
Yeah.
So, and I agree. One of the things that I learned, especially from the 2020 election, that it was more important for me to be involved locally. Like the national elections are wonderful. It's great to pay attention to what's going on nationally, but it's even more important to pay attention to what's going on locally, because that's you're going to be affected the most by the people who sitting on city council, who the mayor is, and those types of things. So
like in my town, we now have golf carts. Now you can drive
golf carts for
golfing. Now you can ride them on the street in my little town.
Do you think that's good or bad?
I mean, I just look at it. They're just like something. It went like I said. Trump said this the other day, and it resonates, I think, with a lot of people. Anything the Democrats touch turns to shit. And it's the truth. I mean, what's the relevance of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you feel like having a golf carts riding in the street is a bad thing?
Ride a bike.
I think so too. Yeah.
Ride a bike. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But once again, being involved with that local governance is so important. Going to meetings. I go to my monthly meetings for my city council. I go to my monthly meetings for my county commissioners. It's so important because when you're a homeowner and you're a citizen and you have an investment, you know what I'm saying? And all of those things that they're doing when you are a homeowner or not a homeowner, it affects you.
Look, I just had a revelation or epiphany, because my mom used to say, get off the subject just a little bit. She wasn't so concerned about the politicians who were running for office. She was more concerned about the people who would vote for them. So, and to me, that's one of the biggest issues. And, back in the day, you used to have to be a homeowner to vote.
Yeah.
Which to me kind of makes sense, because your taxes, you pay homeowners taxes and all that kind of stuff. So you have a vested interest in that community because you're paying taxes, as opposed to people who, maybe be transient or coming through. Renters, I think, especially if they're long-term, they understand, because if the homeowner is renting to you, or the landlord is renting to you, and their taxes go up, they're going to pass that off to you.
Absolutely.
So they're still, but the whole idea behind, to me, people having to be educated, I don't know how we would do it. But I just feel like people who vote now really are not educated, and I think there
no.
should be some type of civic education or something so you don't know how to. Because too many people, especially people, our skin folk, people, not kinfolk, just our skin folk, are very emotional, and we vote emotionally instead of really looking at policy and looking at how it impacts.
We come with a cheat sheet, and
a cheat sheet.
People, because I've done the
What's
polls.
That? What's the cheat
I've done the polls, so I've done it all.
Yeah.
They give them a cheat sheet of who they need to vote for.
Okay.
They don't know who these people
are.
Right,
so they just get a
handout,
and this is who you vote for.
This is straight up and down.
Yes,
and so,
I know that happens,
You know, the ignorance of that is that now you're voting for people you don't know where they stand on policy, and then you're saying, well, why is this happening in schools? Why is this happening in my taxes? Why is this because these people had this agenda from the very beginning, from the time that they gave you that paper that they told you to vote up and down that ballot for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get what you pay for.
Well, and how it relates to what we're, like our general topic about the different factions inside the party, especially on the local level. If you're attending those things and they're the ones who have always been involved, or what we call the rhinos or the establishment, then you can get to know. See, you're only going to affect change if you get involved, right?
Yeah.
So that particular part of the party, I think, does need to be eliminated. That's just, or we need to have more in the America First movement. And then if you think about it too, it's more and more Democrats that are coming over to the America First movement. I think MAGA started this, and now a lot of people are starting to see what's going on. So I think the faction in our party that needs to be the strongest is the MAGA faction of it right now. The evangelicals, God bless them, but I think everybody in our party is not Christians.
Well, the founding fathers weren't.
We're not Christian, correct.
So a lot of them were deists.
And then
people don't know that either.
And one of the things that concerns me about it, and I'll give you an example, is that when Roe v. Wade was overturned, right? And this is the disingenuousness to me, to some of the evangelicals. Our biggest argument for Roe v. Wade was that this is a state's issue, right? That was the whole issue. We wanted it overturned because there should not be a federal law about, as Republicans and as conservatives, we're smaller government, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing that some of the establishment Republicans did was wanted to propose a federal law against abortion. That's disingenuous, because if you really believe that this is a states' right issue, then you have to let the states handle it. And if you believe in smaller government, why are you proposing a law that's going to affect everybody, a federal law? So God bless the evangelicals. Look, I used to be one. I understand their convictions and stuff. But the reality is, just like what Donald Trump said when he came out with his position, which I think was beautifully said, is that we fought to overturn Roe v. Wade, to send it back to the states, and that's what That's what happened. And done deal. You and if for your own for me personally, I don't think people should get abortions.
No.
However, if we believe in freedom, and if we believe in free will, and God give us free will and choice, as much as we don't like it, that's just the reality of human nature.
I just think I like the idea of the fact that do I believe in abortion? No. I don't think you don't have to. It's just like abortion should be just like a criminal taking another person's life. It's on the same level. You snatched away the opportunity of however they're supposed to live out their lives at a short notice. Now, my thing is, how can we resolve that issue before a person even gets to that? Before a person gets to that decision of an abortion.
Through education, it's doing. Not just
education. You are not going to stop abstinence. You're not going to put that in place. People are going to choose how, and when you're an adult, you're going to choose how you want. If you want to sustain from abstinence, or you want to indulge. That's you. My thing is, if you don't have health insurance, making sure we have accessible birth control on the shelf other than condoms. you have to think of.
They're starting to do that actually, sis, because I saw it. I saw it when I went to Walgreens.
And I think that's a good.
They're
thing.
allowing you to get birth control without a prescription.
Without a prescription,
I agree.
You shouldn't have control over someone getting birth control pills.
That's exactly right. Okay? I agree with that. But here's the other thing too that I see that's going on, which I'm really loving. So you're having some of these pro-life clinics where they're encouraging, if you're pregnant and have an unwanted pregnancy, come to us and it will help you with the different options that are available. One of the things they do is do a sonogram.
Okay.
And let them women see that baby and they see that heartbeat, and then that changes a lot of their minds.
Well, my thing is like this. I just say this, and I'm just gonna get off the soapbox with this abortion thing. As conservative, we can't have it both ways.
We can't.
So you say keep your baby. I totally agree. But then on the other side of your mouth, don't say you can't get on welfare. You shouldn't ask the government for assistance. Well, if they get themselves in a bind and they don't have an adequate education to take care of that child, where do you think they're going to go? They're going to go on the system. So then you can't say, well, why are you using the system to take care of your child? Because you told me not to kill it.
I think there's so many ways, though, to address that without us getting into the weeds of abortion. My biggest issue is that if we're the party that talk about freedom, we're constitutionalists, right?
Yeah.
Even if you are a Christian and you don't believe in that, you understand God give us all free will.
Yeah, it's up to you.
And then He give us the free will to be a fool, to be a murderer, He give us that free will. That's something He gonna have to deal with. You cannot, personally to me, legislate morality.
No.
I don't believe in abortion. I don't think it should happen. But if it's a lady 2 doors down from me and she believe it can, I'd rather have a conversation with her, try to dissuade her. But ultimately,
that's her decision.
It's her decision.
And you have to respect. And this is what I'm saying. You have to respect them of whatever choice they make. Okay? You don't have to like it, but you have to be respectful. And that is it. And you leave it at that.
That's what to be MAGA is about. That's what
you leave it to their own God in their own conscience.
That's
because trust me, they have a conscience too that they can't get rid of. You understand what I'm saying? Their outcome of what they do is in their conscience. It's embedded in their conscience. Allow their conscience to guide them going forward. And that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think that we just have become the righteous police and not just saying, okay, I don't agree with it, but they have every right to do it.
If you believe in freedom.
Yeah.
And that's what we talk about. This is about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The yin and the yang.
All of that. So what do you guys think? I know we got a little bit off in certain directions, but the 3 factions of this party that I think is going to ultimately be dealt with. I honestly don't know if the rhinos will ever go anywhere, but they shouldn't be the strongest part of the party. I think that the MAGA movement is definitely a good movement, America First.
We got to stop feeding. Then that's the case. We got to stop giving the rhinos nutrition.
Stop feeding them. Stop voting for them.
No, it's just within the party. If they're here, stop giving them life to continue to generate what they do. So,
it's hard for them to give up that power. But tell us what you guys think. Put a comment below, and don't forget, like,
share,
and comment. Thank you. See you next time.
Peace.